In today's Farm Report, the University of Minnesota Extension Service always tries to keep area producers informed on best management practices and soil fertility. Dan Martins with the University of Minnesota Extension Service office shares a new publication just released by U of M Extension.
At the beginning of this week, I mentioned a new Minnesota Extension publication titled Managing the Rotation from Alfalfa to Corn. Michael Russell, Jeff Coulter, and Matt Yost continue to do a considerable amount of research to see if we can give more accurate guidelines for taking nitrogen credits as we move from alfalfa to corn. The general recommendation in Minnesota has been that following alfalfa with at least 4 plants per square foot, you can plan for 150 pounds of nitrogen being available to the next crop and 75 pounds of nitrogen being available yet in the second crop after alfalfa. This new publication has a table showing nitrogen recommendations for corn following alfalfa based on soil productivity, plants per square foot, and the ratio between the cost of nitrogen and the price of corn. It says that the first year corn following alfalfa terminated with 4 or more plants per square foot rarely responds to nitrogen fertilizer. Situations where you might see a response to nitrogen fertilizer include sandy soils where it is easier to lose nitrogen as plants decompose, finer textured soils where there are prolonged wet early season conditions where alfalfa might decompose more slowly, medium textured soil when following 1-year-old alfalfa that was direct seeded, and I'd guess that doesn't happen very often, medium textured soil when following 2-year-old alfalfa, including the seeding year that was planted with a small grain companion crop. I wouldn't expect that scenario very often either. Medium textured soils where alfalfa is terminated in the spring, here again this is likely due to delayed decomposition. Fall termination of alfalfa on medium and fine textured soils appears to be preferred for the sake of getting a little bit of a head start on alfalfa decomposition, and as we often think about with heavier soils, getting the ground to dry out and warm up better in the spring. Obviously we don't get that option when we are surprised with winter kill as we were this spring. This publication also provides information about using tillage, herbicides, or a combination of tillage and herbicides to terminate alfalfa. In some situations, aggressive tillage in the fall might leave the soil too susceptible to wind erosion. They suggest that a highly effective herbicide option for fall termination is 2,4-D-amine or ester used alone or in combination with a dicamba product. If grasses are a problem, they suggest a tank mix of 2,4-D and glyphosate. Obviously on alfalfa that is not tolerant to glyphosate. They also point out that high rates of glyphosate alone often result in a partial kill, ranging from 60 to 90% in the fall or 40 to 80% in the spring. Timing related to killing frost and size of regrowth can affect herbicide performance. You can find this publication by doing a website search for Minnesota Extension Alfalfa Rotation to Corn, or giving us a call at the County Extension Office. I'm Dan Martins with University of Minnesota Extension.
Catch the latest in local farm news at 6:35 a.m. and 4 p.m. with me, Scott Colomb, here on AM 960 KLTF or anytime at fallsradio.com. This week is National 4-H Week, and as part of National 4-H Week, I had a chance to speak with Becky Moe, the 4-H program coordinator for Morrison County. One of the activities that she talked about, among the many that are going on, was the recent win by the Morrison County Crow Wing County General Livestock Knowledge Bowl team down in Nebraska.
Well, that's kind of a soft spot for me. I do have 2 of my daughters on the team. There's 3 girls from Crow Wing County and 1 young lady from Morrison County, Samantha Phillips. She's our Morrison County person. Also, Hannah Stadinsky, Athena Moe, and Alicia Moe. And they won our 4-H General Livestock Regional Competition way back last March. And then they went on to win the state competition in April. And then they went out to the Exarban Stock Show, which is in Omaha, Nebraska, just a couple of weeks ago, so it's kind of a fresh win for them, and they came in second. They did lose to North Carolina, but they gave them a heck of a run, so it was really exciting to watch. It's a double elimination contest, just like it is here in Minnesota, so you have to lose twice to be eliminated.
Moe also talked about what some of the questions the teams were asked during competition.
With the general livestock contest, they look at beef, sheep, swine, and meat goats. And they can be asked questions from anything from breeds to meat parts to nutrition to general care of the animal and current events as well. So they're very well-rounded.
And we've been speaking with Becky Moe, the 4-H program coordinator for Morrison County, all part of National 4-H Week. If you're interested in joining 4-H or becoming an adult volunteer, call 632-0161 or go to www.extension.umn.edu.
Lettuce from space.
These are lettuce seeds?
They're lettuce seeds.
Seeds from this produce crop are what USDA and NASA officials, an astronaut, and 4-H and FFA students planted earlier this week at the USDA People's Garden in Washington, D.C.
These are seedlings from the same seed lot that we grew up on the International Space Station and has been consumed by astronauts.
NASA Deputy Administrator Dava Newman adds this also represents the seeds planted of a growing partnership between USDA and NASA for projects both on Earth and in space, such as future manned missions to Mars and how to feed astronauts. Deputy Agriculture Secretary Krista Harden adds,
Most people are always very surprised that USDA and NASA work so closely together, and it's nothing new.
Seeds of an educational manner were also planted in the youth participating in the event, as they saw firsthand the connection between STEM-based education and agriculture. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.